your calculator. Okay, so you can't just say, oh, it's 300 times 200, which I'm sure some students do. And you don't want to do that. We talked about how you have to convert percentages into decimals.
It's just 300 times 2, right?
Yes. No. Sorry. No. 100% increase.
Oh, so it's times 3.
So that's where 300 by 100% increase goes to 600. So a 200% increase would go another 300.
Okay. So it'd be 900.
Yes. And you know, the point is that you can also get really fixated on the calculator where you don't actually get the help you think you're going to get from it. So here's a good example of that. A car was listed with a price of $12,000. The price decreased by P% to 9,600. What is the value of P? If you sit there and you take 12,000 and you start multiplying it by like, all right, let's try 0.9, let's try 0.75, right? You're just sitting there guessing.
Yeah.
Now, if you've got the answers A, B, C, D, E, maybe you do that, but you really ought to be careful as I think, you know, you're getting the point that I'm trying to get you to see for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just pick a new topic. We're gonna go to statistics. I'm hoping that we get some new problems, but we may or may not get many. And again, like it may look like it's a calculator problem, it's really not. So let's take a look at this. Oh, you know what? I never got to that question. That's okay. It's okay. I'll talk do that another time. All right. So let's go right to the question. What is the question it's asking you?
How many samples have a pH level or a pH of 7.4 or greater?
Okay. So does that include 7.4?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Um,
So is it 6.8 to 7?
No.
How about 7.1 to 7.3?
No.
Okay. Does the fact that they sampled water from 10 different pond locations, does that matter?
No.
No. This table matters. So what's the correct answer?
D.
It is D. Do you need a calculator for that?
Nope.
You do not. Okay, so let's try and use the same strategies for this problem here. Try to read the question first. And the question's over here. Could you read that out loud for us?
During which of the following periods in the increase in the number of students with part-time jobs largest?
Okay, so they're saying, is it from 4 to 6? Or is it 7 to 10? 7 to 10? Or is it 11 to 14? Or is it 13 to 16? So you could actually do the calculations, but if you had your pencil out, you could draw lines from like 4 to 6, and then from 7 to 10, and then from 11 to 14, and then 13 to 16.
So it would be B.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, so let's look at another problem here.
How are you using that like that?
Yeah, it's a good technique to try and draw on the graphs. It sometimes tells you something. So I think this is a similar type of question, but again, go ahead and you want to start with that, whatever that question is first.
On which interval is the target heart rate strictly increasing then strictly decreasing?
So what does that mean in terms of the graph? If it's increasing,
It's going up and then
up
going
into
down.
on the right, yeah. And then if it's decreasing, it's going the other way. Down and to the right.
So it'd be 40 to 60.
Yeah, and there's only one place where that happens. There's only one place where it goes up and then down. So there you have
Oh,
it.
yeah.
All right, let me find another question. I'm going to have you try this one on your own, please.
Based on the graph, which the following is closest to the graph above shows Marlon's distance from her campsite during a 3-hour hike. She stopped 30 minutes. So it'd be 110 B.
Continue. Yes. Well, no, I'm sorry. Finished. That's when she started her lunch.
Oh, so C.
Yes. And I guess I can see why they're both there. I don't know if that's fair or not, but yeah, it's
I should have read that thoroughly better.
did you read the last sentence first?
Yeah. And
Okay.
then
And do you like, I know it's not common, but I would recommend underlining keywords, circling keywords.
because that's one of my problems is skipping over the one important word out of the whole thing.
Yeah. They call that like reader fatigue or something like that. You get so tired, like, yeah, I'm done. All right. Why am I getting, okay. Let me have you try this one on your own, please.
According to the line graph above, between which two consecutive years was the greatest change in numbers of 3D movie? D.
Okay, from 2010 to, so you're looking for the one with the steepest line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think if you make some of these now, 2008 to 2009 is pretty good, but not quite as steep as that other year there. Yeah, and it when it says greatest change, if it went to smallest change, that would change the answer altogether as well. Okay, let's see if we got another one here. Yeah, one more here. These are really good for you to do. They'll help with your go ahead and give this one a try. Now, this one says which of the following, and that's when you do actually have to look at all of the answers.
Okay.
But I would recommend starting bottom up.
The number of people. The 2 days of with the fewest numbers. I got D as true.
So the fewest number of riders were Saturday and Sunday. That looks to be true. Yeah. So whenever you see which of the following, and this is totally common in college, you definitely start from the bottom up. Does it always work? No, but we will. Okay, another one here.
Would they try to trick you and give you one that's more true? Like if D was the true, like, okay, yeah, that one's technically true, but let's say B says Thursday had 773 people right on it. Would there be a wrong, like, would they try to do with that?
There's never two right answers.
Yeah, but one's more more true than or am I
You're overthinking it. You're overthinking it. That if you see an answer and you like it, you want to have confidence in your answer. That's more important than anything.
okay?
You don't want doubt to see, to cloud. Seriously, that's really it, you want to, what we've talked about, like if you get A, make sure it's because it's actually the right answer, not because it's the first number you calculate. Make sure it's actually the thing that it's asking for. And We've talked about that at length. But these things don't always work. Like it's not that every which of the following is going to be D, but it's better to start from the bottom most of the time. Most of the time you go down the court, you probably dribble with your right hand. I don't know, maybe you switch it up for some reason to your left at some point. But most of the time, I mean, these are like general guidelines.
Okay.
And that's how it's how we get through life. We can't think everything's an exception. Okay, so again, I want you to go right to here and start with that last sentence.
Mark was given a head start of how many yards? A head start of 18.
Done. Did you need to read the rest of it?
No.
But does this work on every problem? No, like you cannot just go down to the last sentence, but it works for some.
Yeah.
And the ones that works for some on, you're saving time. For the ones that didn't work, well, you're going to go back and read it anyway. So you didn't lose anything.
Mm.
Let's try
And
another
Mark still lost. Wow.
You ever heard of the tortoise and the hare?
No.
What? Okay. All right, let's try this one.
During which year of this time period was the number of space shuttle launches the greatest? 1985. D.
Yes. That's it. Like there's no other confusing thing about it. But these look intimidating, and maybe when you took the exam the first time they were intimidating. But now you know better. You're like, oh, I got this.
What is the total different distance x plus y in kilometers that a student walks? The student walks x kilometers along a straight path from P to Q, to point Q. The student walks y kilometers a straight path from Q to R. D.
P to Q, then Q to R. Right? So they go right and then up. So 2, and then 1, 2, 3.5.
Oh shoot.
5.5, 5.5. Yeah. What did you say?
Not that.
Okay. Did you see that every square it was 2?
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, or it's I'm sorry. It takes
Oh, I should only.
two squares to make one. Sorry, I'm saying this
Yeah.
wrong.
So every square is 0.5 kilometers. Or
Yes.
okay.
Yes. Now I saw this on social media today. I don't know if I can find it. Darn it. Okay, it's a really interesting question, but we're not going to be able to do it unless I can find it real quick. Okay, let me draw something. Can you not look at your screen? It's not anything bad, but could you just not look at it for a moment? And I'll tell you when it's okay.
Yeah, I'll look away.
Okay. Okay.
Not anything bad.
Yeah. Well, everything's got to be sort of qualified nowadays.
Sensitivity.
Yes. Okay. I want you to now look at your screen and count the number of circles.
3, 9, 13.
Okay. Now I want you to tell me how you did it.
Threes and then twos and then added them.
I heard something different. I heard 3 and then 9, like you counted. And there's no wrong. This is not a right or wrong thing. This is just a pure, yeah.
I did 3, 6, 9, and then I counted the twos, so it was 4, and then 9 plus 4.
Okay. So here's how I count it. 5, 5, and 3. Am I right or are you right?
I mean, I guess we're both right.
Both right. Now here's what some students do. They count diagonally.
Would that be
Now that's a little bit extreme, but that's what some students do.
oh
Some students count vertically.
5, 3, 3, 6?
They build shapes out of these things. So the point is that we all see and do things differently, even though, and this is just a very simple example of that. But it does happen, on these standardized tests, you got to make sure that you are seeing what they're intending you to see. So let's go back to this problem here. So if you go 2 squares, when you go 2 squares, you're going 1 kilometer. Do you agree with that? Elijah, are you still there?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. And then the next thing is, if you're going up north, 2 squares, 2 squares, and then another 2 squares. But then you got a full square, which is a half mile, half kilometers. That's how we got the 5.5. And if that's not clear, that's okay. We'll move
So
on.
I didn't see that there was an example showing that
Yes.
what is 1 kilometer, 1 square
Yes.
kilometer.
Yes. Okay, let's look at this question here.
On what interval did the numbers of figurines decrease the fastest? What interval did the number of figurines decrease the fastest? Okay, so I'd say 3 to 4 months.
Yes. No. Decreased or increased? Decreased. Yep. 3 to 4. You got it. Perfect. Okay. All right. Let's do another one here.
Really, this part of the test is just how well you understand like diagrams and stuff.
Yeah, but you're going to get a couple of questions like this. And I don't want you to I want you to go right to the question. I
And
want
skip.
you and skip that. But then if you have to go back, that's fine. But so far you've been able to really do these quickly. And that's a far cry, because the first time you saw this, you probably started reading, you're like, oh my, what do I do?
Yeah, started from the top and then read all
Yeah.
the all.
Then you got tired, you got fatigue, you didn't read the words, and you're like, I don't know, A, C, whatever.
Which of the following graphs represents the cost Y of sending X texts a month? The text messaging plan charges a flat fee of $5 per month. So I'd say C again.
So C says it started at 5 and then goes up a little bit each month. And that is true by the number of text messages. Now, this is completely outdated, right? Like, you don't get a bill for
Yeah.
text messages. But have you ever gone on YouTube and looked for when people used to get their bills and they would come in boxes because there were so many pages of text messages and the parents would just freak out?
No, but I seen a story time thing about
You should ask your parents or go look at some point, go check that out, because they're kind of hilarious now, because you're like, why did the number of text messages matter? But you literally got like limited to uh 100 or 1,000, and people would just totally go over them. So anyway,
dang.
it's once upon a time. All right, Elijah. Well, we got at least 2 more sessions next week before your exam. So keep doing whatever you're doing to stay on top of your studies, and this is only going to help propel you forward. So I apologize for some of the technical difficulties, but everything got worked out, and I'll see you next week.
See you later. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye now.